I do speak English, but permit me a few words in Hebrew. קהל נכבד, כבוד גדול הוא לי לעמוד בפניכם היום ולדבר על נושא פיתוח היחסים החברתיים בין ישראל וסין. שני עמים חשובים עם מסורת עשירה של תרבות ושתרמו רבות לעולם. We'll return to English. I lived in Japan for many years where I served as the rabbi of the Jewish community. At the time when I was the rabbi in Tokyo, I was also responsible from every area, from India to China to Singapore to Burma to the Philippines to Korea to Japan, etc., etc., etc. I have been to China more than 30 times and have developed a very friendly and warm relationship with everyone that I have met in China. I wrote many books in Japanese on Judaism, and these books have been translated into Korean and into Chinese, some becoming even bestsellers in Chinese. I have led Jewish tours to China called China Through Jewish Eyes. I have brought more than 1,000 Jews, about 1,500 Jews, from America, from Israel, from Europe, from the world, to see China through Jewish eyes. We see the major sites of China, but we visit Kaifeng, where there was once a very prominent, successful, and interesting Jewish community, producing Chinese Jews, and some of their descendants still living there as well. I try to point out that the two oldest Hebrew manuscripts on paper, not a scroll, not parchment, but paper, the two oldest Hebrew manuscripts on paper found anywhere in the world were found in China. And we don't teach about it, we don't think about it, we don't write about it, and we don't know about it. But it should be part of our tradition. 20,000 refugees from the Nazis, from the Holocaust period, found refuge in Shanghai. And there were others in the Philippines, and others in Manchuria, and others in Japan. But 20,000 lives were saved in the city of Shanghai. They came from Poland, they came from Austria, they came from Germany. And we should pay respect to the warm welcome that they received without passports and visas, and their survival rate, even though it was wartime, their survival rate was 99%. We do not teach that in Manchuria and Harbin there was a fascinating Jewish community of 10,000 Jews, magnificent newspapers, synagogues, rabbis, Zionist centers, even the family of Ehud Olmert. His parents spoke Chinese when they didn't want their children to understand. When he visited China, he went to the cemetery, Jewish cemetery in Harbin, to visit his grandparents. 10,000 Jews living successfully and wonderfully where in northern China. The Radhanites, Jewish merchant adventurers in the 600s, 700s, 800s, over 1,000 years ago, 1,500 years ago, pioneered and monopolized the Silk Road, traveling through Europe, the Middle East, into China, and brought so much knowledge of China to the outside world. There are two synagogues now in China, or former synagogues, that became museums. We don't know and we don't teach that the closest friend and the bodyguard, advisor to the first president of China, Sun Yat-sen, was a Jewish general, General Two-Gun Cohen is what he was called. The only foreigner that was permitted at the funeral of the first president of China. He died for China and said only Chinese at his funeral. But one foreigner was there, a Jewish person named Morris Abraham Cohen, his closest friend. And on his tombstone in Manchester, you have the sign of the Kohen, since he was a priest, the Kohen, written in Hebrew, written in English, and at the bottom signed by Madame Sun Yat-sen, honoring Morris Abraham Cohen, a loyal son and a hero of China. We don't teach and we don't know about Dr. Jakob Rosenfeld, who was a refugee from Hitler, came to Shanghai, was a urologist, and identified himself with the Chinese people, joined the Chinese Liberation Army, and became a general in the army, chief of medicine. He's honored with a postage stamp, he's honored with a monument, he's honored with a hospital name for him, and Chinese by the thousands who visit Israel on their first day in Israel are requested to visit the Kiryat Shaul Cemetery in Tel Aviv, to visit and pay respect to a hero of China, Dr. Yaakov Rosenfeld. We could go on and on and on, and our time is up. But I think it's so important for us to realize what a great heritage we share with China and what China shares with us. Thank you very much.